Good morning. You join us as the final minutes start to tick away before the beginning of practice here in Monza. The teams are working furiously on the cars, making last-minute adjustments before they get out on track. There's an army of Ferrari fans around the circuit today. The Scuderia are hugely passionate about their team. So does that put more pressure on the drivers today with the increased expectation?
Well, it depends on the driver, but to look out from the cockpit and see that sea of red in all the grandstands should be a real boost. If one of them can get into a podium position, they'll be cheered around every corner until the checkered flag.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
Qualifying is about to start here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. The teams are about to head out onto the track any minute now. Grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Hamilton, Rosberg and a McLaren. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
Hello? I just wanted to pass on the team's expectations for this race. Good luck.
The Italians love their cars and they love their racing. And of course, they love it here at Monza. Home race for Ferrari, of course, who've had 18 wins here since 1950. But you know, there's not been so much luck for the locals in the cockpit recently. The last Italian driver to win this race was back in 1966. So what now? I think it's time to make some more history here today. With top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, few places can hope to touch Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in Formula One. Hard braking zones going into 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, well, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. Joining me to talk you through the action today is Anthony Davidson. And give us an idea of what kind of thing you're going to be looking out for today.
Well, the big question for me is whether or not we're going to see the cars able to follow each other closely enough to overtake, especially through the fast sections here. Of course, we've got DRS, and that will help on the straights, but it's still no good if you're coming off the previous corner too slowly or too far behind.
You can run side by side into the Rettifilio, but don't brake too late on these cold tyres or you will hit someone.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have a McLaren, Massa, Kimi Raikkonen, and Bottas, Verstappen, Perez, Grosjean, and Fernando Alonso, Nasser, Ricciardo, Marcus Ericsson, and Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, Vettel, Pascal Wehrlein, and Daniel Kvyat, Palmer and Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, and Rio Haryanto completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
Brilliant stuff from McLaren today. What a superb victory. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Kevin Magnussen. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, good work from Force India this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.